I was almost 20 years old, and my life felt like a story that had begun in the middle, without a beginning, without a truth. I lived in a massive stone castle surrounded by high walls and cold towers. But no matter how grand it looked from the outside, I always felt like I didn't belong there. They told me my family died the day I was born. That was all. No names, no faces, no stories, just silence. And silence can be heavier than any lie. Every morning before the sun rose, I worked. I carried heavy bags of grain, crates of old books, broken furniture, and dusty chests up narrow stairs to the attic. My hands were rough, my back always aching, but I never complained. The castle was the only home I had ever known. The king lived there too. He was old, thin, and tired, like a man whose soul had aged faster than his body. He never spoke to anyone, never laughed, never raised his voice. Most days, he sat alone in his room, staring out the window as if he was watching a past he could never reach. He was kind to me, but in a strange, painful way. He made sure I was fed. He made sure no one beat me, but he never once called my name. When our eyes met, his gaze always filled with sadness, and then he would turn away. It felt like he wanted to say something, but was afraid of the words. The king had one son. He was my age, born in the same year, on the same day. Everyone noticed it. We looked alike too. The same height, the same dark hair, the same sharp eyes. But where I was quiet, he was cruel. He hated me. The servants whispered that he felt invisible because everyone treated me kindly. They helped me, smiled at me, spoke to me with warmth. But no one loved him. His heart was full of jealousy, and jealousy slowly turned into hatred. He tried to destroy me in small ways at first, spilling water where I would slip, blaming me for things I didn't do, hiding my tools so I would be punished. Every time he succeeded, he smiled. But every time the king found out, his face changed. "Enough," the king would say, his voice shaking with anger. "Do not touch him. He is your brother." Those words followed me for years. Your brother. I didn't understand them. How could a king's son be my brother? I was just a worker, a shadow in the halls, a boy with no name. As I grew older, my questions grew louder. I started noticing things, how the king watched me when he thought I wasn't looking, how he never allowed me to leave the castle grounds, how guards quietly followed me at night. And then there was the attic. The king never allowed anyone near it, especially me. Whenever I was sent there for work, he watched closely. Whenever I asked questions, his voice turned cold. There was one locked box he protected more than his own crown. One night, when the castle slept and the king's candle finally went dark, I broke the rules. I went into the attic. The air smelled of dust and old memories. My hands trembled as I opened the box. Inside were photographs, letters, and a small cloth wrapped carefully around something precious. Then I saw her, my mother, the same face I had stared at every night from the faded photo hidden in my room. The same eyes, the same smile. My chest burned as if my heart was breaking open. I ran to my room, grabbed my photo, and compared them. They were the same. No doubt, no mistake. Back in the attic, I opened the letters. They were written by trembling hands, full of pain and desperation. A woman begging the king to return her child. A woman crying that her baby had been stolen for protection. A woman promising to stay hidden if only she could know her son was alive. My name was written again and again. I collapsed to the floor and cried for the first time in years. My mother was alive. The king had lied to me. Before dawn, I left the castle. I didn't take gold. I didn't take food. I took only the letters and my mother's photo. I ran into the forest, not knowing where I was going, only knowing I could never stay. I didn't know yet that the king was my father, that he had hidden me to save my life from enemies who wanted the throne. And even if he ran after me now and shouted the truth, even if he placed the crown at my feet, I would never return. Because a kingdom without love is just a prison made of gold. I will find my mother. I will find my truth. And I will never lose them again. If you want to do something, don't wait for the right time. That time may never come. Follow for more story.